Yay. So keep sharing if you haven't shared yet where you're from, or if you haven't shared yet, if you're brand new to this, or if you're already an oils user, let us know. That actually helps us serve you more, because if everybody here already uses oils, it will change the way I teach the class. But we have a lot of new people, and I think we do from what I'm seeing, then this will be more of a beginner class. So I'm going to share my screen with you. This class is called If Mama Ain't Happy, 4 ways to basically lower your stress, improve your mood, and balance your hormones naturally in 30 days. If you're looking at me right now saying, Miss Edie, I am not sure that can happen, I understand your skepticism, but just hang with me, because I promise you it's possible. I'm going to show you a picture of me. Can y'all see that? I'm going to show you a picture of me 4 years ago. This is right before I began my journey into oils and supplements and nutrition and natural health. So there I am then, and I'm going to tell you basically what happened in my journey. And here I am now. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on. That's not me. There I am, though. And I really feel like in so many ways I have had a complete reverse aging. In the last few years, have lost a bunch of weight, have balanced my hormones. My stress is way less than it used to be. I sleep way better than I ever have. My thyroid is in balance again. I'm not, just completely miserable. So as a matter of fact, I feel better than I ever have, and have more energy and sleep better and less stress, just so many good things. And the reason that I share that with you is because I think a lot of people just assume, let me know in the chat box if you just kind of assume that as you age, things are going to fall apart. As you age, it's not going to be possible for you to do this gracefully. Because I think a lot of us think that. And as I saw my own body transform, and saw my own mind and my own emotions came up with this oils and supplements and natural ways to help my do what it was created to do. When I first started this journey 4 years ago, I was completely miserable. I wasn't sleeping at night. I had so much stress. My body felt, have you ever been in a situation where everything felt heavy and hard? Everything I wanted to do felt hard. It felt hard to take my kids to school. My body literally just felt weighed down. And I went and sought some traditional, solutions, and I didn't like them. It wasn't helping. And I didn't want to be one of those people who was 44 years old, with a list of stuff that you're taking that's like a 70-year-old. And that's what would have happened to me. So I began this journey of trying to educate myself. Most of you know that I'm a physician, so I spent a lot of years learning traditional medicine. And when I decided that I really want that path for myself, it was so transformative for me. And as I began to learn about this stuff and figure out how to help my body do what it was created to do, I was blown away. I was literally blown away at how well the supplements and oils worked for me, at how fast my body responded, at how fast all that stuff turned around, and I began to feel like myself again. How many of you joined this class because you're like, I just don't feel like myself? This is not me. This is not how this is not how it's supposed to be at this age. This is not how I'm supposed to feel. So let us know in the chat box if you are maybe where I was 4 years ago, and you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You don't have the same energy and passion. You don't even have the same body. You don't have the same anything anymore. So I feel like a lot of us find ourselves in this place and we feel hopeless. That's how I felt. Maybe you could tell me, what word would you best use to describe yourself in this similar situation? Would you call it hopeless? Maybe you would call it something else. But if you would use a word to describe yourself, what would that be? For me, it literally was hopeless. I just felt like this is terrible. I don't know how I'm going to be able to help my body get back to where it was. I literally felt like there was nothing more that I could do. If you find yourself in the same place, then you are in good hands. Let's talk a little bit about the statistics surrounding this kind of thing. I think we completely underestimate the impact that stress has on our lives. In American life, we are the most stressed out culture that ever has been. We are so used to the stress that we don't really even appreciate the impact that it's having on our bodies. I know for sure that I was in complete adrenal crisis and adrenal fatigue when my body basically shut down and said no more. And I know 100% for sure that that was because of stress. Now, when you seek help for this, often the first line of defense is antidepressants. The antidepressant prescribing rate has increased 400% since 1988. They're the most commonly prescribed class of drugs other than antibiotics and thyroid medication. It says 1 in 10. In my aged women, it's around 30% of women that take them. This has not been, you would think like, okay, so everybody's having this problem. We'll give these people a whole, this class of drugs. So you would think everybody would just get better, but they don't. And here's what happened to me. I took this class of drugs 3 or 4 times. Here's what happened to a lot of women like me who take these drugs. Instead of making you feel better, they make you feel nothing. And that can be okay for a short period of time if you're going through something stressful. But I will tell you that that is not a great way to go through your life. And that sort of numbing, that sort of, they call it in the literature indifference, where you just don't care, can be so damaging because you don't care that you gain weight. You don't care that you've lost your zest for life. You don't care that you lost your sex drive. You don't care enough to try to fix the things that led you to that place. And it causes you to just bury emotions, keep burying emotions. And over time, this is a terrible idea for us as a culture. There are so many better ways to help your body deal with what it needs to deal with than this. And I hope that I can give you some ways today. I certainly am not saying, don't take your medicine anymore. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that a certain amount of people don't need it, but I'm saying that this is not a good blanket solution for all the women who are stressed out in our culture. So let's keep that for sure in mind. The other thing, if you think about the statistics, the other thing that I like to think about with us is that we are in a hormonal crisis that we have never known before. I'm going to explain to you some of the reasons why, but our stress level is part of it. And the hormonal crisis that we are in is like nothing we have ever seen before in our culture. 20 million women suffer from PCOS, which is often because of too much estrogen, too much bad estrogen. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. 1 in 10 women have endometriosis. 13 million women have thyroid dysfunction. We're going to talk about reasons for that. 1 in 8 couples is infertile. 30% of women have fibrocystic breast disease. 7 million women have clinical depression. And every 10 minutes, 12 hysterectomies are performed. So basically, when we started to experience this hormonal crisis that we're in America, a modern medical answer for that has not really helped us very much. And we're going to talk about reasons why that is. One of the statistics that I read in all my research is that modern medical answers are 17 years behind the research. So I think what's going to happen is the class that you are watching today a lot of people in modern medicine would go, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, what I'm saying today is going to be mainstream. And we're going to look back and go, oh, it's just like when people thought smoking was fine. It took a long time for it to catch up that this is killing us, right? And the same thing is going to happen in this arena, except for a lot of people, it's going to be too late. So that's why I'm super passionate about teaching this, because I have watched hundreds and hundreds of women find natural answers and natural solutions, and they get off of this awful, treadmill of, that they've been on in the modern system, and they immediately begin to get their life back and feel better and all of that. So I know that it's possible because I watch it happen. I watched it happen for myself, and I watch it happen over and over for people that I love. Okay, let's move on really quick we talked about those statistics. Let's talk about the things that are causing this problem. One of the main things that are causing this problem is misinformation. So we're gonna fix that today. You're gonna learn amazing things. Yes? Deidre, can you pause? I hear some feedback. I think there are some people who are not muted. So maybe if everybody would look up at your screen and mute yourself if you can, we start to get feedback from people who are joining us who are not muted. Let's see, mute, sorry. Yeah, we start to get a lot of feedback if you're not muted. So if you can mute yourself, that would be amazing.
Angela Sandridge, if you can mute yourself, that would be great.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so there's a lot of misinformation out there. We're going to talk about that today. We are culturally conditioned for the wrong things. So we get this stress, stress reaction to everything. We have more stress than any culture has ever had. We live in a toxic environment, which we try to say, well, it's not really that bad, although it's causing a lot of this hormone disruption, and we're going to go through that. Our modern diet is setting us up for this hormone disruption and this, our body responding in the wrong way. And our modern medical model isn't helping either. So it feels like in every situation that everything is piling up against us. So we are going to try to re-educate you as to how you can start to take control of this. I'm going to skip some of these slides because we're going to make this, we're going to go through this faster than I normally do. So let's talk about one of the big problems. And one of the big problems in our culture is xenoestrogens. Xenoestrogens are big, bulky, toxic, estrogen-like molecules that really can be found everywhere in our culture. They're everywhere you turn. They're in plastics, they're in food, they're in pesticides. They act like estrogen in your body and cause a lot of women to be estrogen dominant. So I want you to write down that word. If you have a notebook and can take notes today, write down that word, go do some research, and it will scare the heebie-jeebies out of you because you will realize that you are literally swimming in a sea of estrogen. We know this is true for men and women because men's testosterone levels are lower than they have been in a long time, lower than they should be. We also know this because women have more hormonal problems than they have ever had in the history of ever. So infertility, PCOS, bad periods, early menopause, early cycles, we are literally swimming in a sea of bad estrogen. And the reason it's bad for us is because it's not the estrogen that your body recognizes. So it often just blocks up your estrogen receptors and doesn't allow your body's estrogen to do what it should do. That's why a lot of women, when they go to get their labs checked, their labs will be normal. That doesn't mean that your own body's hormones can get to where they need to go to do what they need to do. And the reason a lot of times they can't get there is because these bad estrogens are blocking up your receptor sites, and your body then can't do what it's supposed to do. So we have got to find a way to reduce the xenoestrogens that we have in our bodies. The second problem that we have is cholesterol. Now, I'm going to show you this slide. This is like a very scientific slide, and if this makes you want to fall asleep, I promise I won't leave it on the screen very long. But what I want to show you here is that all your hormones begin as estrogen, as cholesterol. And what's the most common diet that modern medicine will put you on? A low-fat diet, low-cholesterol diet. What's the most commonly prescribed drug, or one of the most commonly prescribed drugs in America? Cholesterol-lowering medicine. And we know for sure that cholesterol is not the culprit for heart disease. And this bandwagon that we have all been put on, where we're trying to so much lower our cholesterol, has lowered our cholesterol so much that we can't make hormones. So your hormones are all made of cholesterol. Your brain is made of fat and cholesterol. So we have, rates of Alzheimer's disease and rates of hormone problems like crazy, because everybody's either on a low cholesterol diet or they're taking a cholesterol reducing drug, and we can't make hormones. Let me tell you the real story. The real story is the inflammatory molecule in your body is not cholesterol, it's sugar. And when you eat a diet high in sugar and high in sugary carbs, which a lot of us do, that causes a ton of inflammation in your body. And when I like to think of it like this, think about what sugar looks like under the microscope. Underneath the microscope, sugar looks like little knife blades, little crystals, or knife blades. And so when sugar makes this, does this damage to your blood vessels, guess what molecule comes in to rescue all of this damage? Anybody know what that magical molecule is that comes to rescue all the damage that sugar has done? That molecule is called cholesterol. So cholesterol gets blamed for all of this damage, and it was just showing up to help. It's kind of like blaming, it's kind of like showing up to a car wreck and noticing that there's always policemen at the car wreck. So basically, so we notice that whenever there's damage to blood vessels, like whenever there's a car wreck, we see cholesterol there. It's like blaming policemen for car wrecks. So we have picked the wrong culprit, and it's done a lot of damage to our cholesterol. So one of the things that we're going to talk about for natural solutions is we're going to talk about your diet and how you need healthy fat, and how you need to do a ton of research on cholesterol drugs before you let your physician just randomly put you on cholesterol drugs, okay? So that's another huge, huge problem with why we find ourselves in such a hormonal state. Now, the other one thing I want you to notice on this slide before I take all these chemicals off of here, see that red box that has cortisol in it? That red box, cortisol, is the hormone of stress. And when your body is under a ton of stress, it will make stress hormone. It will take the cholesterol and make stress hormone instead of making the hormones your body needs, because it doesn't know that you're stressed because of your job, or you're stressed because you had a fight with your spouse, or you're stressed because you got a text. It doesn't know that. Your fight or flight system was put there to protect you. So as soon as you get stressed, your body goes, oh, we need lots more stress hormone. So it makes stress hormone instead of making the hormones that you need to be happy and healthy. So you're basically, when you're allowing stress to rule your life, and I believe that so much of our stress is what we allow to rule our lives, you are telling your body, okay, make a bunch of this stress hormone instead of making progesterone and estrogen and DHEA and pregnenolone, okay? And your body will listen to you. It will say, okay, let's make a lot of stress hormone. What's the downside of that? Stress hormone makes you fat. Stress hormone makes you store weight around your middle. Stress hormone makes you not sleep and you feel wired at night and you feel restless and anxious. And most of us are walking around feeling like that. It makes you hungry all the time. It spikes your insulin level. It does all kinds of nasty things to your body if you continually live under chronic stress. Now, we're going to talk about some really easy natural ways that you can reduce your cortisol level. But I just want you to remember that if you're living with chronic stress, how many of you, tell me this in the chat box, how many of you are already stressed about Christmas? I need to know. Tell me right now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can go see your comments. Tell me right now, who is so stressed already about what's coming in the next few weeks? Go ahead and admit it. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, y'all. 4 years ago, when I was such a mess, heading toward the holidays made me feel like I was carrying like a giant oak tree on my back. How am I going to get all these gifts? How am I going to make the holiday special? How are we going to make it to all this stuff when I can barely get out of bed, when I can barely function, when I'm on the verge of tears all the time? How are we going to make it through this season? That is exactly how I felt. I can tell you 100% for sure that it is right now, what is it, December 4th? It's December 4th. And I'm so excited. I have done things in my life to reduce the amount of engagements that I have. We're taking a trip for our family instead of buying gifts. We don't even decorate our tree till the middle of December. So we do like we just take our time. We don't try not to get in a hurry. We celebrate Advent and we do these scripture readings at night. Like, it's so different than how I did it 4 years ago because I feel so much better and I feel so much less stressed. I promise you it is possible. I'm not sure who that is, but she said you're preaching to the choir. And Raylene says hi and yes. And hi, Miss Terry. Yes. So we feel this already, and I don't want you to go through another season of this. And I have been there, and I know some things that can help in drastic ways that seem simple. But I feel like if you will hang on with me today, I have some good answers for you. Let me share my screen again. We decided to do it like this instead of an official webinar so that I could see some of your pretty faces. So excuse me for going back and forth to the slides, but it makes it easier to see you. Okay, so we have the cholesterol problem. We have the xenoestrogen problem. We talked about the stress problem. Oh, let's talk just really quick about thyroid. The reason I want to talk about thyroid right now is because of this. A huge percentage. I just read 3 books on adrenal and thyroid crisis. These are cutting edge books, cutting edge research that will not make it into your doctor's office for 15 years, okay? I just finished 3 books on this, and let me tell you what I learned. A huge percentage of our thyroid problem begins in our gut because we're eating food that's not really food. It's causing disruption in our gut lining that kills off the good bacteria that should live there. It causes these junctions. Usually the lining of your gut should be like nothing should be able to get through. And what's happened with the way we've been eating for the past 20 or 30 years is this is what the lining of our gut looks like, and all kinds of things that shouldn't get through to our bloodstream now gets through. And we have more food allergies than any culture ever. We have higher rates of immune problems from this leaky gut than any culture ever. And we have higher rates of thyroid dysfunction than any other culture. Thyroid medication just topped cholesterol medication as the most commonly prescribed drug in America. This is how bad it is. And I can promise you, as someone who was diagnosed in the past with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, I can promise you that you heal your gut, you can get over your thyroid problems. So thyroid is not It's not a death sentence that you're going to have to take this forever, that you're going to feel this way forever. Most of the time, if you can do some research and get in our group so that we can help you with the research we've already done and begin to help your body heal from food and heal this leaky gut problem, you can do so much to help your body heal from this. So the thyroid problem is, again, thyroid problem, hormone problem, stress problem, just astronomically taking over our lives. And it doesn't have to be this way. I think this class today will wake you up to the ways that this is happening in your own life, and you can begin to take action, and you can begin to say, I'm not going to swim in a sea of estrogen anymore. I am going to begin to feed my body things that it needs to heal itself, to heal this leaky gut. I am going to take specific drastic measures to not let my stress hormone be so high all the time, and your life will change. Pounds will drop off. Stress will melt away. I have an oil that we talk about that I say it makes you like Mother Teresa, only slightly naughty. I'll tell you about it later. But you will find that person that you used to be, that happy person who loved the holidays, who loved her husband, who had a pleasant attitude about things, who had energy to exercise. You can find her back, and she's worth fighting for. Let me ask you this. How many of you have been you've been so hopeless that you feel like she's not even recoverable? There's no way I can go back and find her. That was 20 years ago. That was 10 years ago. And that is the way I felt. I felt like, I'm probably just going to be like all my patients, and I'm going to be 44 years old, and I'm going to feel miserable, and I'm going to want to talk about my aches and pains all the time, and I'm going to be depressed and anxious, and I'm not going to want to have relationship with my husband, and all the things that I felt were true about myself. I have proved over the past 4 years that they were a lie. And I want you to know that that is possible for you. Is it easy? No, it's not. It's going to require some work. It's going to require some research. It's mostly going to require that you raise your hand and say, enough already. Enough is enough. I don't have to live like that. I don't have to accept that anymore. And I look at my journey over the past 4 years, and I'm telling you, I don't even recognize myself, you guys. I am a different person. And in those 4 years, I just became a student of how to help my body do what it was created to do. I was determined to figure out ways to reduce stress, to balance my hormones, to get my thyroid health back, to sleep better, to be a better mom and wife, the one I wanted to be. I was living under so much shame because I felt like I'm not being the person that I was created to be. You know what I thought about all the time back then? Myself. I thought about myself. I felt sorry for myself. I was ashamed for myself. I thought about my aches and pains. I thought about how I'm not going to sleep again tonight. I thought about how my body felt full and heavy and that I didn't feel like myself anymore. I thought about myself all the time. And if you will trust me on this journey, we will get you to a place where you can focus on everybody around you. You can give your gifts. You can bring your gifts to the world. You have the energy to do that. And you can say, now I can focus my energy for somebody else. Let me tell you a short little story, because some of you follow me on social media and you know about our relationship with this little boy named Tom Tom. Thomas was brought into our lives about 4 years ago. He's 6 years old. And thank the Lord that I have been able to help my body heal, because otherwise his great-grandmother called me at before 7 this morning. She could barely breathe. And she said, can you come get him and take him to school and keep him for a few days? because she's going to be in the hospital for a few days. And I said, of course. And I drove straight there, and I got him ready for school, and I took him to school. And as soon as I finish this class, I'm going to go get him and take care of him for the next few days. And I can do that because I'm better, because my body has healed itself in ways that I did not even think was possible, because I have energy again, because I can focus myself on somebody else instead of always worrying about myself and how bad I felt and poor me that I'm in this situation. So I say all that to say you were made for more than this. And if you can get the body part of it back and the emotional part of it back and the hormonal part of it back, you will be amazed at what you can do with your life when you're not worrying about all those things. I see your comments. Several of you are like, I know that's where I am right now. I want to get better. You're making me cry. I know. And I feel it myself. I feel it because it wasn't that long ago that I was there. I promise you help is coming. Okay, let me share my screen again. I had to see your face while I told you that, though. Okay, so we've got the thyroid problem. So basically, we got lots of problems. One of the hormones that makes us feel like ourselves is progesterone, and progesterone gets way out of balance when we live in a sea of estrogen. Progesterone and estrogen are like sisters, and they do a delicate dance in our bodies, and your body doesn't care as much what your actual level of those two hormones is as much as the balance between the two. So when you are swimming in a sea of bad estrogen, your estrogen goes way up and your progesterone is down here. So do you see that? So your body doesn't like this. Your body likes them to be in a delicate dance, in a delicate balance. So what we have to do for most women is we have to find a way to lower their bad estrogen and help increase their progesterone until their body gets back to this beautiful, delicate balance. We're going to talk about how to do that. But as we go along, I want you to remember that your body probably right now, if you join this class, I would almost guarantee you're swimming in a sea of bad estrogen. And you need to lower that, and you need to find a way to increase your body's natural progesterone. Are y'all hanging in there with me? Give me a yes, ma'am. I'm still here. Something. Let me know that you're hanging in, that I'm not getting too sciencey on you. Okay, so that's progesterone. Now, let me tell you something amazing. I'm not talking about any product here, okay? I'm not talking about products. Is everybody good with that? I'm not talking about products right now. I'm just talking about what happens in your body when your progesterone is normal. Hold on one second. Let me make sure that I've got this here. Okay, ready? This is not about a product. I repeat, this is not about a product. This is just when you get your body's progesterone back to normal. Here's what happens. It lowers your cholesterol, your bad cholesterol, in a good way, not falsely like can happen with drugs. It increases your bone density. It decreases breast density and decreases your risk for breast cancer by 500%. It prevents osteoporosis. It prevents endometrial hyperplasia. It stabilizes uterine bleeding. It helps you sleep. It helps dramatically with PMS. It helps dramatically with perimenopause. It improves your feeling of well-being. It improves your quality of life. When women's progesterone is normal, they breathe a sigh of relief and go, oh, I feel like myself again. It drastically increases the quality of your sleep. It improves your sex drive. It helps you lose weight around your middle. It helps with all kinds of inflammatory things in your body. Now, this is just when your body's progesterone is normal. So much magic happens when your body's progesterone is normal. And right now, if you're swimming in a sea of bad estrogen, this bad estrogen is blocking your hormone receptor sites so that your estrogen and progesterone can't even get to your cells to bind and do what they need to do. So you're swimming in bad estrogen, your progesterone can't do what it needs to do, which is why often we find ourselves in the situation where we just feel miserable. It can be hard to describe. Very restless, anxious, depressed, can't sleep, irritated, no sex drive. We just don't feel good. Let me expand a teeny bit on sex drive. How many of you, and I think we have all women in here, I want you to say yes in the chat box right now if you have low libido, if you have low sex drive, if this is something that you've struggled with for a while or you've struggled with for a long time, it causes issues in your marriage. It almost always does. But if this is an issue for you, let me know in the chat box. So lots of you. Okay. Lean in, mama. I want to see the whites of your eyes. Everybody lean in. Look at the screen. Let me see your face. A lot of times when we lose our sex drive, we think, well, that was just supposed to happen. Too bad for that. And we let that go and we don't try to fix it. There is no better indication of your overall health and vitality than your sex drive. If your sex drive is good, do you know how many things have to be working right in your body and mind and emotions? So many things have to be working right. So that is the one question that I can ask a woman, and I can tell so much about where you are overall. You're either, if you've lost your sex drive, you're burdened with emotional issues that you haven't dealt with, or you're so stressed out that your stress hormone is stealing all your female hormones, or your thyroid is a mess because your gut health is bad, or your female hormones are a mess because you're swimming in a sea of estrogen. It tells me so many things. It's like I can ask you two questions. I can say, tell me about your sex drive and tell me about your menstrual cycle. And I know all I need to know. The NIH just did a recent study that said sex drive and women's hormonal health, which is indicated by their menstrual cycle. So sex drive and menstrual cycle will predict a woman's overall lifespan and vitality. So this is not just like, oh, I have a headache tonight. We've been married a long time. Forget about it. This is not just about that. This is your overall vitality can be predicted by these things. So it's really important to find out what is going on and how can we do things to make this better. This is one of the very few things in your life that is good for your mind, good for your body, free, good for your marriage. And we don't want to just let this part of our life go because we feel like, well, I'm just of this age and so, fine. We need to work on this. That's why I don't like antidepressants, because antidepressants almost 100% take away sex drive. All right. Is anybody ready for the answer? Type yes in the chat box if you're like, okay, I get it. I'm a mess. I already knew that when I came here. Anybody ready for some answers? Let me see what y'all are saying. I've got to shut off the slides. Yes, please. Okay. Let's start by talking about number one. If you've ever taken a class with me, I always start the solution to every problem with this. Number one, you got to fix your food. Okay. What you're eating has a huge impact on your hormones, way more than you think. If you are filling your body with fake food, your body can't run on fake food. If you're filling your body with sugar, your body will be inflamed. It will feel heavy. It'll bring on all kinds of immune issues that you don't want to be dealing with. It'll damage your blood vessels. It will keep you storing weight around your midsection. Seriously, food is your first medicine. Everybody repeat after me. Food is your first medicine. Ask yourself when you put things in your body, is this healing me or killing me? It's doing one of those two things. Is this food helping my body heal or helping my body destroy itself? Now, I will say this, the way we've been taught to eat in modern America is not good. We need to teach ourselves how to eat food that God made. God made food that is fuel for our bodies. So if he didn't make it, then it's probably not good for our bodies. So I want you to think about what you feel, or what you fill your body with every day. It's kind of like your car. Your car was not made to run on Coca-Cola, and neither was your body, right? And if you filled your gas tank with Diet Coke, how far would it go? Not very far. I can tell you that one of the main things that I did for myself when I first began this journey is I stopped drinking Diet Coke. That one change made so much difference for me. If you're drinking Diet Coke or soda, if you're filling your body with sugar, and y'all, this time of year, it's so hard. I get it. But if you learn to fill your body with things that God made, and every now and then you have your treat or whatever, that's fine. But what we tend to do is we just tend to fill our bodies with crap and stuff it wasn't made to run on. One of the things that I say to do is, if you think of the perimeter of the grocery store, when you go to the grocery store, here's the perimeter. Here's the produce and all the fruits and vegetables. And then you go back to the meats, and then you go over here to the dairy and all that. All the aisles in between, C-R-A-P, boxes of things, packages of things. You probably can't pronounce the ingredients on them. If you can't pronounce the ingredients, you shouldn't eat it, because that means your body can't metabolize it. Plus, so much of our food is filled with this xenoestrogen, these bad hormones that are not good for us. You need healthy fat. You need food God made, and in season as much as you can. But start to make some little changes in how you're feeding yourself, especially if you have thyroid issues. If you have thyroid issues, you need to start doing some things to heal your body. The first thing you do to heal your gut is change your diet. So avoiding gluten, avoiding dairy if that gives you problems. Gluten is probably the number one culprit. And the reason for that is because our modern wheat has been so hybridized that our body can't process it. So really avoiding products that contain flour and wheat, at least for a time, will help your gut heal itself. I love that, Katie. If great grandma doesn't think it was food, don't eat it. Yes, I say that all the time. Think of how your great grandparents lived, basically, and do that. Okay, number 2 is we're going to balance our hormones naturally. We talked about food. Number 2 is to get rid of xenoestrogens as much as you can. We're going to talk about at the end of class some easy ways to do that with Young Living, but I promise you, if you have not been careful about this, everything that fills your home has xenoestrogens in it. It's in your cosmetics, it's in your skincare, it's in your food, it's in your cleaning products, it's in your lotion, it's in what you're washing your clothes in, it's in your dryer sheets, it's in the plastics that are in your home. They literally are everywhere. And we'll talk at the end about some ways, some simple ways, even just with our starter kit, that you can reduce that. Avoiding candles, just literally almost everything in modern life is full of xenoestrogens. So reduce those. Number 2, really, really work on your sleep. So if you're trying to heal yourself from an adrenal crisis, from so much stress, really working on your sleep is huge. Now, we are going to talk about some products at the end that help with sleep, but let me give you some statistics. Lack of sleep is a major predictor of all-cause mortality, including cancer, Alzheimer's, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, depression, and suicide. Hard science proves that an hour and a half less of sleep per night will take 10 years off your life. Sleep, hold on. Good sleep is better for depression than antidepressants. Good quality sleep is better for high blood pressure than antihypertensives. Good sleep, if food is your first medicine, good sleep is your second medicine. And I think as a culture, we pride ourselves on the fact that we don't need much sleep, or we take something that gives us false sleep. If you're taking something for sleep, almost everything you can buy over the counter and prescription drugs, the way they affect your sleep is they take you to sedation. So they take you from waking to sedation. You stay in this very sedated state all night, and then you wake up. Using natural products for sleep will preserve your normal sleep cycles. If you're not getting sleep in a natural way, not by alcohol, not by prescription drugs, those just sedate you. Your body doesn't go through all its healing processes if you're just sedated. So you need good quality sleep. We'll talk about, when we get to the oils and supplements, things that can help with that. Exercise, your body was made to move. So making time to move your body and get the exercise you need is super important. Stress management, huge, huge, huge. When I get to oils and supplements, I'm going to tell you some amazing things that oils can do for your stress. But let me tell you something. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I am getting close to done. So let me look at the whites of your eyes again. Everybody look up here and pay attention. Your stress level is it's an inside job. You think that you're just stressed out because you have a stressful job, because your kids drive you crazy, because you have financial problems, because of this. Let me tell you something. You are the one who decides what all of those circumstances mean. You are the one that tells your body, okay, keep producing all this stress hormone, produce more, and your body will obey you. Your body hears what your brain says. So if you allow every little thing to rock your world, your body will keep pumping out stress hormone to beat the band. It'll just keep pumping it out. You have so much control over your stress level. So I want you to think about that as we head into the holidays. One of the things that combats that stress is gratitude. You decide how you come into every day. You decide. I mean, listen, I got a call at 7 o'clock this morning that everything in my life for the next 4 days is turned upside down. And I had to pause, and I had to say a prayer of gratitude. Thank you, Lord, that I can be part of this little guy's life. Help me to accept these next few days with love, with gratitude. Help me to walk into it with service, a servant's heart. And it changes the way you walk into your day and your life by your own mind. So we're going to talk about oils that are amazing for stress, and oils that are amazing for hormones, and supplements that are great for sleep. But a huge part of this is how you choose to think about things. So you have control over how much stress you experience today. And if you keep telling your body and your mind how stressed you are, it listens, and it keeps making stress hormone, which means you can never lose weight, which means you don't sleep well, which means so many things bad for your body. So you have control over that, and I want you to take control over that. Okay, next, oils and supplements. Okay, let me tell you something. Do you see this picture right here? I'm sitting here at my office. I have my diffuser going. I have my oils here. How many of you came to this class skeptical, thinking, oh my word, this is the weirdest thing. People are crazy. This is some kind of fad. This is not going to last. Let me tell you something. I'm 4 years into this journey, and when I look at this picture right here that you're looking at, my heart is so thankful. The person who introduced me to oils, she kept telling me, you got to try them. They're amazing. You won't believe what they do. They'll blow your mind. And I thought to myself, does she know I'm a doctor? Like, does she know that if there was something so magical and so amazing for your health, I would already know about it because I'm a doctor. I was so arrogant and so skeptical. I'm embarrassed actually about myself because I was just so arrogant about it. And when I was willing to humble myself and say, okay, well, I'm not making a lot of headway with what I'm doing, so maybe it would be worthwhile to try. Y'all, I had this starter kit. Here it is. I had this for 3 weeks and used it like crazy for 3 weeks. And I used this hormone oil. I'll tell you about it in a second. And I drank this drink. This is all I had for 3 weeks. This kit, this drink, which you'll get samples of in your kit, this oil. That's all I had. In 3 weeks, I could not believe it. I had unbelievable results. Some of you have had the same results. Some of you, you're fairly new to oils, but you haven't had your stuff very long. You haven't been drinking Ningxia Red very long, but you're already like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I mean, life-changing. So you can, if what you're doing is working, you probably wouldn't be here in this class. Just humble yourself. Just be willing to learn. Just be willing to try. What's it going to hurt? That's the way I felt. Okay, I can either take this big pile of stuff that I was given, or I can try this. I didn't have anything to lose. I already was miserable, and I already didn't like the solutions. So it's worth a try. I promise you, I have a Facebook group with 7,700 people who feel just like me. I left my house today, and my box from December, we have this program where you can get a monthly wellness box, and you get to pick what's in it and all of that. It's called Essential Rewards. My order is waiting on my front step, and I drove by and went, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late for my class, but my box is here. That's after 4 years of using this stuff all the time, and I get just as excited this month as I was last month or more. It feels like Christmas every month. And I promise you that if you are willing to humble yourself and give it a try, it will change your life. I've seen it work for hundreds of people. When I first started having results, I called my sister and I said, oh my gosh, you're going to think I'm such a fruitcake, but can you go to this website and get this kit? Because it's amazing. And I don't tell anybody. This is what I told her. Don't tell anybody because they'll think we're all weird, but go buy this kit. And she did. And she started having the same results. So slowly I kept making people that I love go buy it. And one by one, same story. Like, oh my gosh, that red drink's amazing. Oh my gosh, that hormone oil. Oh my gosh. And so then I just couldn't shut up about it. So 4 years later, we have 7,700 people in our Facebook group, and they're all in there today going, oh my gosh, have you tried this? This has changed my life. Oh, I feel so much better. The story after story after story after story. So what I'm asking you to do for the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you some of my favorite things about oils and supplements. It's okay if you're skeptical. It's fine. I just want you to open your mind a little bit and be willing to hear me, because I promise you, there will be no other $160 that you spend between now and Christmas that you will be happier that you spend than this right here. How many of you like spend money for Christmas, and even as you're buying it, you're like, they're gonna break this in like a day, and this is such a waste of money. Like this, I know this is a waste of money before I even spend it, but it's Christmas. How many of you you've already spent money that you felt that way about? I have. I mean, we got TomTom another remote control car, which he will tear up in approximately 7 days. But when you spend $160 for this, you will not regret it. Here's what you will say to yourself. Some of you who already have your starter kit, tell me right now. Yeah, see, you're already putting comments in there. I know. Tell me right now how you feel about spending this $160. Those of you who already have done it, you're like, I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Why didn't I do it sooner? Best money I ever spent. Because here's the thing. I'm going to show you what comes in this kit, and it's amazing. But what you get is so much more beyond that, because what you get is you get a mentor. You get somebody to walk with you. You get access to all my teaching, to all my classes. You get access to my gut health class, which will help you heal your thyroid. You get access to so many things when you join. You get this whole sisterhood of people that will walk with you and answer your questions and help you. You get the products, which are amazing. The other thing you get is you get your own link that you can then call your sister and go, don't tell anybody, but go buy this starter kit because it's amazing. So you'll get a way that you can share it, you know, and get your sister, your mom, your BFF, because here's what's going to happen. This is my diffuser. This is what I do a lot of the day. I just like buried my head in it. I'm diffusing Christmas spirit and stress away right now. And so you'll get your own diffuser. You get your diffuser. You get your starter kit. But you basically get so much more than just a kit, because you get all this teaching to go along with it. I have a video inside our Facebook group that says, hey, you just got your starter kit. Let's open it together. I walk you through the whole thing. I tell you what to use the oils for. You're not going to be by yourself. You're going to have lots of people holding your hand. Okay, here's what it looks like. Now, everything in here, you get 11 oils. So this is 10 oils. And then you get, at the bottom of this box, there's more stuff. So at the bottom of the box, you get another oil called Stress Away. What you get in this kit is basically everything you need to get started. If you went to our website without knowing what to buy, we have like, I don't know, 260 oils. So good luck with trying to figure out what you need, which is why it's arranged in this starter kit. This is like everything that, you know, that cabinet that you keep in your house, that where you reach for things when your kids are under the weather or when you're under the weather, this replaces that. Everything you need. There's something here for when you're got seasonal stuff. There's something here for your tummy. There's something here for your breathing. There's something here for your immune system. There's my favorite oil, frankincense, which literally turns back time. As soon as I started using frankincense on my face, people would ask me all the time, what are you doing to your skin? Why? How are you reverse aging? You look younger than you did 3 years ago. You look younger, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's frankincense. So you get that in the starter kit. You get Pan Away. Pan Away is good for all kinds of pan. Head pan, belly pan, knee pan, hand pan. So Pan Away is really good for all kinds of stuff. You get Thieves Oil. Thieves is our kind of like award-winning, everybody knows about Thieves Oil. It's our immune boosting oil. Listen, mama, do not go into this winter without this in your toolbox. I'm telling you, my family of a lot of kids in and out, we have not been down the street to see our friends at the doctor's office very much at all. I don't think, maybe not once. So I literally can tell you that this will pay for itself in a month. There's other reasons that it will pay for itself, because one of the things you're going to get is you're going to get a diffuser. So you're going to get to stop buying all your toxic candles. Candles basically are like breathing secondhand smoke. So now you got a diffuser. You don't need all the toxic candles. The other thing that you get in here, which is so cool, is you get Thieves Cleaner. So remember I talked about all those xenoestrogens. So you're getting rid of the xenoestrogens in your room sprays and in your candles. This is a concentrate cleaner. It's an all plant-based cleaner. You just pour this into a spray bottle and mix with water, and voila, you have cleaner that cleans everything in your house. Those of you who already use Thieves Cleaner, can you tell our good friends here how amazing Thieves Cleaner is? It replaces your bathroom cleaner. your kitchen cleaner. You can clean your floors with it. You can clean your mirrors and your windows. It takes stains out of clothes and stains out of carpet, and it's all plant-based, no xenoestrogens, no toxic hormone disrupting chemicals. This is so worth it. The other thing that you get is Ningxia Red. So Ningxia Red is our super juice drink. So you're going to get 2 sample packs of Ningxia Red. Listen, this drink changed my life. I can't tell you all the ways it changed my life, but trust me when I say changed my life. My husband swears by the drink. He is a physician, and he's a stoic, Lutheran, Midwestern, skeptical, doesn't trust anything. And when he started drinking this drink, he said to me, why does everybody not drink this drink? I'm like, I know. Supports every system in your body, your energy, your cardiovascular system, your digestive system. Amazing for vitality for both men and women. So sex drive and just overall energy and vitality for both men and women. Crazy good drink. This little bottle will change your life too. It's called Stress Away, and you need it because it's almost December, the middle of December. This is an awesome oil. Get lemon and citrus fresh. Our citrus oils are so effective for mood. So you want to have more joy this holiday season. I promise you, one of the things that oils do is they bind as soon as you breathe them in. They go to the emotional center of your brain and block the stress hormone. Not very many things do that. So they go to the emotional center of your brain. You immediately feel less stressed. You immediately relax your shoulders. You start to feel better, and you can't even help yourself. Those of you who've never used oils, I would love to know in the chat box who has never used oils here. So say never in the chat box. If all of this is brand new, you've never used oils. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Here's the news I have for you. You've used oils your whole life, because they're tiny little molecules that come off the trees and come off the shrubs and come off the flowers and come off the honeysuckle vines. They're little tiny molecules that God made that come off the plants that have amazing properties in our bodies. It's funny because when I first realized this, I'm like, that's weird. That's just weird that some little oil that comes off a plant that you could rub on yourself could do all that. But it's not that weird, because the pharmaceutical companies get all their good ideas about drugs from plants. And we have a God who created this world and who filled it with things that are good for us, things that we need. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, yeah, that's amazing. He was the first pharmacist, the first aromatherapist. And when we spend a lot of time outside, we get all the benefits of those molecules. But as a culture, we don't do that very often. We spend less than 7% of our time outside. So bringing the outside indoors, so good for your family. I promise you, you will see unbelievable changes in the mood and health of your family when you start this journey. Plus, you get the benefit of removing so many xenoestrogens from your life. This is just the beginning. We have tons of classes inside our Facebook group on how to get rid of all this stuff. And it's not as hard as you think. It's not overwhelming. Your first step is this starter kit. Your second step is this drink. So if you can swing it today, when you go to the website and get your starter kit, if you can swing it today, get 2 bottles of this and try it for a month. The third thing that I want to mention for those of us, since we talked a lot about hormones, is this one. This is called Progessence Plus. Let me show you the slide of that. This is unbelievable. This will make you more like yourself again. All those things that we talked about that your body will do when your progesterone is normal, this will help clear out your receptor sites, so your progesterone can do what it needs to, and this has some natural progesterone in it. I love this oil. This was the first oil that I got hooked on. I love it. So this is our starter kit. Let me show you really quick. You get those 11 oils. You get a diffuser. That's $330 worth of stuff that you get for $160. This is Progessence Plus, so take a screenshot of that so you can type that in when you go to order. Life-changing oil. This is another one that I love called Lady Sclerol. Lady Sclerol is good for women. Progesterone is good for anybody over 30. Lady Sclerol is good also for anybody over 30. It's kind of a balancing, it has some phytoestrogens in it, but really, really good for mood. So the way I use progesterone, this one, is I, use 4 to 8 drops on my inner leg or inner thigh at night. The way I use Lady Sclerol is 3 or 4 drops on my abdomen during the day. Functions like a natural perfume. I also call it happy pants because I put it on my lower abdomen, then I pull up my pants, and now my pants are happy. There's a couple others. Let's see. We're not going to go into those. Let me tell you really quick about this one, though. If you find yourself in a place where you feel like everything is wrong, your hormones are so low, you're having all kinds of symptoms, or you've been and had them checked and everything's bad and low, I would recommend a month of this, a month to 6 weeks of this PD 80/20. I take it off and on. I'll take it for a couple months, and then my hormones balance out so nicely. And then I'll go back to just my oils, and then I'll take this again. So I love this PD 80/20. Again, once you get your starter kit and get into our group, we can answer tons of questions about this that you might have. Okay, here's what I can promise you. You will begin to be the best version of you. This will be the beginning of a journey that you will be so happy you're on. I promise you that. I feel like as women, especially, it's right here before Christmas. You're probably thinking, I don't know if I want to do that right before Christmas. Let me tell you, you cannot give your family a better gift than the best version of you back. Right? I mean, they need you, and they need the you that's not so stressed out and not so, in such bad shape that you can't be what you want to be. And let's talk about this really quick. A lot of the things that we talked about are hard. Making change in your diet is hard. Sleeping better can be hard unless you have some good oils, which I promise you, oils are amazing for sleep. Starting a new exercise program is hard. You know what's not very hard? Getting a starter kit and letting the oils do their magic. It's the easiest thing to do first. And you will start feeling better enough that you're like, oh, yeah, I think I can make some changes in my diet. I do now feel better enough that I can start addressing the things that I need to address. Let me briefly tell you, this is, again, a close-up of our starter kit. Let me briefly tell you why Young Living. Here's the thing. Your house, your life is already full of fake things. Fake estrogen, fake food, fake oils. Young Living's oils are real oils that come from real plants. So the effects that they will have in your body don't even compare to oils that you can buy at Walmart or oils that you buy at Whole Foods or oils that you buy basically anywhere else. These are real oils that are distilled from real plants. The seeds that we use have never been hybridized. This is real stuff. And you need real stuff because you've had already a life full of things that aren't real. So make sure you get good oils, get into a good group. Like I said, part of what you're getting is our education. I feel like when you join our group, it's like we give you a big bouquet of flowers. We welcome you into our Facebook group and we say, okay, here's all this 4 years of teaching. I really believe that joining Young Living with me or somebody that's in our group is the fastest, easiest way to gain the biggest results in your health and life. You'll have less stress. You'll have more energy. You'll remove toxins that are causing you harm, all kinds of things. That is, hold on. Let's see if we can mute everybody. That is basically a picture of our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is a private group that is only for people that are in our downline, so that are join with me or with somebody who's already in with me. We protect that, and we give that as a gift to the people who join with us. Again, our starter kit is $160. What will surprise you is how fast they work, how amazing they are. What will surprise you is how fast your body will begin to balance, how fast your stress will begin to reduce. You'll be less stressed and happier, I promise. Your body systems will be balanced and so much stronger. Without trying too hard, you'll reduce your family's exposure to toxins, especially xenoestrogens. You literally will be amazed. I want to tell you really quick that if you are here and you have not joined us yet, you need to go, if I invited you to the class, you need to go to ediewadsworth.com and join. For those of you who decide to make the decision today because of this video, we are sending, if you join with me. Now, if you join with anybody else, everybody always has something else that they're offering. What I'm specifically offering is a bottle of Christmas Spirit, which I love this time of year. I love mixing it with an oil that comes in the starter kit called Stress Away. So we will send you that. Those of you who joined today or because of this video with me, if somebody else invited you, contact them. They can let you know how to get started. Sometimes people will send an Amazon gift card, or sometimes they'll send you a little book on how to get started. Whatever they're sending will be amazing. But we are so excited to get you into our group, to welcome you into our teaching. You go to ediewadsworth.com. I don't even think I have a slide that says that. It's just my name, EDIE Wadsworth.com. Get started. Let us know if you have questions. We are going to take some time here at the end to answer questions. So if you typed question in earlier, I probably missed it. I am going to try to go back and answer some of the questions that you have, but that is basically what we have to offer. We can't wait to get you in our group. We can't wait until you start seeing these results. You're going to be so happy you did. Is Progessence Plus okay for postmenopausal women? Yes, it will make you so happy. You'll feel so much younger. Is it good for any age? I would say over the age of 30. I'm not sure who left that question. Barb says, best money you will ever spend. Yes, it is. Victoria, dog and a cat. Can I use oils? Yes. Do some research. I mean, you don't want to lock pets in a tiny room with oils diffusing all day. They do have an effect. But think about this. You're already using what you're using for your pets is probably toxic. You're probably spraying Febreze. Plenty of pets have died from Febreze. You're probably, using candles and room sprays and toxic cleaners. Those are toxic. Oils are natural products. They can have effects on pets. So you just don't want to have them diffusing in a tiny room where they'll get overwhelmed from them. Anybody else? What can you tell us about Shutron? I'm thinking of getting some for my husband. Shutron is awesome. It's kind of a little bit like Progessence for men. So I have men friends who use it and love it. A little bit of a kind of like a boost. Like this would be a boost for mood and libido for women. That would work in a similar way for men. Oh, supplements. And we didn't talk specifically about sleep, but let me just say this. You will get lavender and copaiba in your starter kit. Those are amazing for sleep. You can diffuse those by your bed. You can put them on your ears or the back of your neck or on the bottoms of your feet at night, and they work amazingly well. So for sure, oils work way better for sleep than most other things, and they allow your body to go through the normal sleep cycles. We have 2 supplements that I love for sleep. One is called ImmuPro, which is a chewable that has a little bit of natural melatonin and some Ningxia powder in it. That's the one I use. We have something even stronger called Sleep Essence, which is basically a pill full of oils. So we have those 2 supplements for sleep. The supplements that I mentioned for hormones, the first one is PD8020. This is a very strong supplement. You take 2 capsules a day. I would say take it for 4 to 6 weeks and see how you're feeling. If that basically kind of gets you balanced and even out, you can switch to this one, which is called Themagen. I love this one. It has lots of female herbs. It's milder than PD 80/20. I feel like if you need lots of help, you probably need this for a month or 2 or 3, and then you can switch to the milder Femigen, all the while using the oils. The other thing that I forgot to mention, I'm sitting here looking at my oils, is I forgot to mention Endoflex. Endoflex is our oil that supports thyroid and adrenal health. This is one that I use all the time, so I'll take 3 or 4 drops in a capsule every day of the Endoflex Vitality. Our oils come in 2 lines. They come in regular and Vitality. If they're Vitality oils, they have this white labeling, and that means they're safe for internal use. They're the same oil. So Endoflex in this bottle is the same as Endoflex Vitality, but the fact that it comes in Vitality tells you you can take it internally. So I hope that makes sense. Femigen or Cortistop. Okay, if your problem is mostly adrenal fatigue, you're completely stressed out, you're wired but tired, you have a really hard time waking up in the morning, you live on caffeine and sugar, that probably means you're in adrenal crisis. A month or so of Cortistop will really help while using Endoflex. If your symptoms are more like hormone symptoms, then PD 80/20 and the hormone oils that I mentioned are probably the best place to start. How do you use frankincense on your skin? So I use it right before I use my moisturizer. So I get one hand wet, just a little bit wet. I put frankincense on, rub it together, frankincense all over my face, and then my moisturizer. I use the Young Living skincare. So I use Young Living's wrinkle cream, Boswellia wrinkle cream, and then the Light Art moisturizer. And I switch it up. I like all of our skincare. Thyromin, I also do take Thyromin. Again, think of Thyromin, Cortistop, and PD 80/20. That's like sort of an overhaul for your system. So you don't want to take Thyromin just all the time, but I'll take it a month at a time to kind of give my thyroid a big boost, and then mostly use Endoflex. So Thyromin kind of is to the thyroid gland what Cortistop is to the adrenal gland, what PD 80/20 is to the hormone system. Femigen, yes, that one I answered. Thyromin is amazing. Yes, it's so good. How many hours of sleep? 8 hours of sleep if you can get it. Sleep Essence is for sclerescence. We didn't talk about that much because I don't want to get people confused because we have so many oils. If you're using Lady Sclerol, sclerescence is basically a phytoestrogen, a plant-based estrogen, and so is Lady Sclerol. I would start with Lady Sclerol and then progress to sclerescence. It has a little more of it. Okay to use oils while on. Yes. So what I recommend is if you're trying to come off something, you work with your doctor and you work to reduce that medication. Don't cold turkey stop anything. Don't stop anything without your doctor's approval, and they'll give you a schedule for stopping it. And as you're doing that, then you use your oils and supplements, your nutrition, your exercise, do all those natural things as you're doing, as you're weaning, whatever your doctor's helping you wean from. That's usually the best way to do it. Okay, I think we got through most of the questions. Thank you guys so much for joining. Again, if I invited you to the class, please go to ediewadsworth.com and get yourself signed up. You're going to be so happy you did. If somebody else invited you to this class, please contact them. They're in my group if they invited you. So that means you'll have access to everything that everybody else has access to. And we can't wait to see you in there. Which one is Happy Pants? Is Lady Sclerol? Repeat, please. Cortistop for adrenals. Endoflex for thyroid and adrenals. Thyromin for thyroid. Yes, that is right. Good, I'm glad. Did everybody learn something today? Say yes if you learned something fun today. I hope you did. It has been, as always, a pleasure to be with you. I'm so happy that we could offer this one last class before the holidays get here, before Christmas gets here. But listen, if you like this kind of thing, you need to be in our group. We do this all the time in there. We probably will give until the replay, the bonus on the Christmas spirit, probably until the replay goes out. So I would say until tomorrow evening. Yeah, somebody's asking about, let me just tell you this really quick. I should have said this. I should have said this already. If you're taking synthetic hormones, if you're taking birth control pill or synthetic hormones, those are xenoestrogens. So remember all the things we said about xenoestrogens. Not good. So if it were me, I would find a way to get off synthetic hormones. They're not good for us. Not good. But we do need help, which is why we need to find natural ways to help ourselves. You're so welcome. You guys are awesome. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and a Merry, Merry Christmas. I love you. I'm so thankful for you. Thank you for being here and being so encouraging and supportive in the comments. I hope you have an awesome day.